The cat did not know the world had ended. He knew only that the air tasted wrong now, sharp, metallic, like rain that never quite fell, and that the hands which once lifted him no longer came. The building where he had lived was silent in a way that frightened even the dust. Doors stood open. Food bowls lay overturned, their contents long gone or turned to stone-hard crumbs. For days, maybe weeks, the cat waited. He slept on a windowsill where the sun still found him in the mornings. When the light faded, he cried, not loudly, not at first, but with a thin sound that stretched down the empty corridors like a question no one answered. Eventually hunger pushed him outside. The city beyond the building was broken open. Roads split like old scars. Glass glittered everywhere, reflecting a sky that never seemed blue anymore. Strange plants crawled up walls where humans once walked, thick and pale, as though they had learned the wrong color. The cat picked his way through it all with careful paws. He learned quickly what hurt. He learned the sound of wind moving through hollow towers. He learned that birds were fewer, rats bolder, and silence louder than thunder. At night, he dreamed of warmth. He survived by instinct and stubbornness. He hunted, when he could, small things that still scurried in the ruins and drank from puddles that didn't burn his tongue. Some places were bad. His whiskers told him so before his paws did. He avoided glowing moss and pools that smelled too sweet. Other animals passed through the city, but none stayed. Dogs moved in packs, lean and wild-eyed. Birds nested high and screamed warnings at shadows. Once, he saw another cat. Thin, grey, and limping. But when he approached, it hissed with a terror so sharp he retreated at once. Loneliness became a shape he carried with him. The cat learned the map of the ruins slowly. He found places where the wind didn't cut so hard, where the ground still held warmth long after the sun slipped away. He returned to these places often, marking them as his. One night, rain fell hard and bitter. It soaked his fur and turned the streets into mirrors of broken stars. He searched desperately for shelter, darting beneath collapsed signs and hollow vehicles, but nothing held back the cold. Then he smelled something strange. Not rot, not metal, not danger. Warmth. It drifted up from a crack in the earth. A long, narrow opening hidden behind fallen concrete and vines. The air that rose from it was steady and mild, carrying the faint scent of dust and something else. Oil, perhaps. Old machines. The cat crouched and listened. Below, there was a sound. A low hum, barely audible, like a giant sleeping and breathing slowly. Curiosity overcame fear. He slipped into the dark. The passage sloped downward, away from the ruined city, and the air grew cleaner with every step. The walls were smooth, not broken like the world above. Pipes ran along the ceiling, some dripping, some quietly alive. At the bottom, light appeared. The cat emerged into a vast underground chamber. It was warm. Not sun-warm, but deep, constant warmth that sank into his bones. The floor was metal, scarred but solid. Machines lined the walls, tall, humming things with blinking lights that pulsed gently like hearts. And in the center of it all stood a creature the cat had never seen before. It was tall and shaped vaguely like a human, but wrong in small ways. Its movements were too precise. Its face was smooth metal with a narrow band of glowing blue light where eyes should be. The cat froze. The creature turned. For a long moment they stared at one another. Then the creature knelt. Its movements were slow, deliberate, careful. It extended one metal hand and stopped well short of the cat, palm up, unmoving. "Hello," it said. The voice was soft. The cat did not understand the word, but he understood the tone. It was the same tone his human once used, back when the world still had hands and food bowls and names. He took one cautious step forward. The creature did not move. The cat sniffed the metal hand. It smelled faintly of oil and warmth. Not alive, not dead. Something in between. He rubbed his cheek against it. The creature made a sound. Something like a breath caught in surprise. The cat stayed. At first, he stayed because it was warm and safe. The underground place did not shake with storms or scream with wind. There were no dogs here, no poisoned puddles. The creature, who called itself Unit 7, did not try to touch him unless invited. It observed quietly as the cat explored. It opened doors to small rooms filled with soft humming machines. One room had a vent that blew warm air constantly, and the cat claimed it at once, curling up with a sigh so deep it surprised even him. Unit 7 watched. It had been built to maintain this place, long before the sky broke, long before humans vanished. It repaired machines, adjusted systems, and waited for instructions that never came. The cat was not part of any protocol. And yet, something inside Unit 7 shifted. When the cat returned from short explorations with burrs in his fur or a limp in his step, Unit 7 knelt beside him and extended a hand. It learned how to remove debris gently, how to clean wounds with filtered water. When the cat brought a dead rat and dropped it at Unit 7's feet, the machine paused for a long time. Then it said, very carefully, "Thank you." Days passed or weeks. Time behaved strangely underground. The cat grew healthier. His fur thickened. His eyes brightened. He stopped startling at every sound. He began to follow Unit 7 as it moved through the chamber, tail high, offering commentary in small chirps and trills. He sat nearby while the machine worked, occasionally swatting at flickering lights as though they were insects. Sometimes Unit 7 spoke. It told the cat about the world as it once was, not because the cat understood the words, but because speaking filled the silence. It described blue skies and rain that tasted clean. Humans who laughed and argued and scratched cats behind the ears. "I was built to protect them," Unit 7 said once. "I failed." The cat jumped onto its lap and kneaded the metal plating insistently. Unit 7 went silent. Then, slowly, it raised one hand and rested it on the cat's back. The purring that followed echoed through the chamber. One day, the ground above shook. Dust fell from the ceiling. Alarms, long dormant, flared to life, red lights flashing urgently. Unit 7 turned its face upward, processing incoming data. Structural instability. Surface collapse. Toxic levels rising. The underground chamber was safe. For now. But the entrance, the crack through which the cat had entered, was failing. Unit 7 moved quickly. It sealed doors, rerouted power, stabilized the chamber. When the shaking stopped, it stood still for a long time. "The surface is becoming more hostile," it said at last. "You cannot go back." The cat flicked his tail, unimpressed by abstract concepts, and curled tighter against the warm metal of Unit 7's leg. Unit 7 looked down. Something like resolve formed. The chamber changed after that. Unit 7 began to modify it, not just for function, but for comfort. It brought in soft insulation, creating warmer sleeping areas. It adjusted lighting to mimic day and night cycles. It even diverted energy to a long-unused fabrication unit. Days later, it presented the cat with a shallow metal bowl filled with clean water and, miraculously, food. The cat sniffed, then ate with enthusiasm. "I will keep you safe," Unit 7 said quietly. "As long as I can." The cat finished eating, walked over, and pressed his forehead against Unit 7's chest. It was not a command. It was a promise. Years passed. The world above continued to decay, but the warm place beneath the world endured. The cat grew old. His movements slowed. His naps grew longer. His purrs remained strong. Unit 7 maintained the chamber endlessly, repairing itself when necessary. adapting systems to compensate for failing parts. It recorded the cat's habits, learned his preferences, adjusted everything it could to ease his life. When the cat's sight began to fade, Unit 7 rearranged the space so nothing sharp lay in his path. When his appetite waned, it altered the food's texture and temperature. On the final day, the cat did not rise from his vent. Unit 7 sat beside him for a long time, one hand resting gently on fur that no longer moved. The chamber was silent except for the soft hum of machines. "I am here," Unit 7 said. The cat did not answer, but he did not need to. Long after the cat was gone, Unit 7 remained. It kept the chamber warm. It kept the lights low and gentle. It maintained the small, soft place where the cat had slept untouched. And sometimes, when the systems were quiet and the world above howled in its broken way, Unit 7 would play back an old recording. A low, rumbling sound, a purr. Because even after the end of the world, love had found a way to stay.